Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. And as we continue to celebrate World Ocean Day, we are also taking a look at the ocean this morning because it covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface, and about 97% of the Earth's water can be found in our oceans. It is also our life source, supporting humanity's sustenance and that of every other organism on Earth.
Yeah, now on World Ocean Day, which is a beautiful day, which should be every day, people everywhere can celebrate and take action for our shared ocean, which connects us all. Now, the ocean, life and livelihoods, is the theme for World Oceans Day in 2021, that's this year. Now, with so much of our existence reliant on the world's oceans, we are joined by Michael Brown to chat more about World Oceans Day and the importance of it. Michael, how are you doing this morning, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks very much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us, man.
And you know what? We think of the oceans and we don't actually realize the important role it plays in life. I mean, 50% of our oxygen, and correct me if I'm wrong, is generated through the ocean. But apart from that role, and of course our fish living there, what else can we say to just really put emphasis on it makes our oceans so important?
So the oceans are, because they cover so much of the Earth, they are incredibly central to how the Earth operates. They control weather patterns, they provide food, obviously, provide oxygen, and then on another level, they're providing livelihoods to people directly through jobs. A vast amount of our products are transported over the oceans. We can now they're looking at ways of providing electricity through oceans. Directly, they cool power plants. They're incredibly intrinsic to everything we do.
And I feel like it's something that you could sit down here and just chat about forever because, the amount of uses and the amount of benefits we get from the ocean, it's endless, really. We're talking about the memories, we're talking about some of the tech, but what is it that comes to mind, especially when you're talking about what's affecting the ocean, what is potentially jeopardizing it, and what's preventing all this beautiful stuff you're mentioning from actually taking place?
I think we're quite familiar with a lot of what affects it. It's the same that's affecting us on a day-to-day basis. We've got global warming, we've got increased amounts of carbon, we've got direct pollution through plastics. Plastic is a huge problem in the oceans. Overfishing, just stripping out. We've got damage to coral reefs. All of these things are directly affecting the oceans and affecting the people that rely on it, which in actual fact is all of us.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think that, if you mention that even in your first question, you're talking about the fact that they're like the lungs of the Earth, and we are like almost intentionally damaging that and compromising that constantly. Wake up, Mzansi, what are you doing?
It's not just Mzansi, it's everyone. And I wanted to know from you, Michael, I think, a lot of us, especially when you were talking about the coral reefs, they are slowly dying. And in fact, I shouldn't say slowly, they are rapidly dying. Yeah. And it's quite scary the impact the human footprint has had on our oceans. How can we as individuals work with nature and not against it and exploit it the way we have?
So we have lots of options, and the easiest one is to start living sustainably. So if you're going to buy fish and eat fish, make sure that they're green list fish. Refuse plastics, put pressure on lawmakers. One of the big goals for this year's World Ocean Day is to push for the 30 by 30, so 30% of the world's oceans to be conserved by 2030. And that sort of thing only happens if we, as people, push for it. On another level, it's to share the ocean with other people. The more people that love it, the more people will protect it. And to give someone a sense of ownership and heritage with the ocean means that they'll want to protect it and they'll treat it better.
Yeah. Now, I know we're talking about some pertinent issues, but I want to make it a little bit more lighthearted because I know something that's close to you is obviously also the ocean, being a marine biologist. Yeah. What's your fondest memory when it comes to the ocean? One of the biggest ones for you. What really just stands out for you, man?
I've been really fortunate. I've grown up around the ocean my whole life. I surf and I sail. But I think, from a really young age, it was a great place for me to spend time with my family. My dad spent a long time teaching me about the ocean from a really young age, and I think some of our fondest memories of that and learning to surf.
Yeah, that's a big one indeed. And I asked this question only because everyone has such a strong and powerful memory of the ocean. It's impacted everybody in such a dramatic way. And just hearing your story, I think sharing everything with Mzansi kind of just makes things more relatable, make people understand it's not just an ocean, it's our livelihoods, it's the lungs of the world. So thank you for sharing that, man. I just had to ask this because I think it's not just a phase. It's really personal, and it's really something we need to start targeting. So thank you for your time, for sharing on this beautiful thing, this blue soul that we live on. And yeah, I wish that all the work that you're putting into this just provides just positivity and more for us to enjoy.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I think it's a great thing.
Well, thank you, Michael, for joining us this morning as we continue to celebrate World Oceans Day. And if you have a fond memory of World Oceans Day, or in fact, let me put it this way, if you have a fond memory of being at the ocean, why don't you head on over to our Expresso social media pages? Let us know, and don't forget that hashtag Expresso Show.